Campaigners say the closure of beds at their local hospital in Rothbury in Northumberland is putting patients' lives at risk. Health managers decided to close all inpatient beds at the hospital last year. In October, Northumberland County Council referred the matter to the Health Secretary, but 5 months on, the situation remains unresolved. Meanwhile, campaign groups say patients are being sent home to Rothbury from other hospitals without care in place. Here's our news correspondent, Mark Denton.
Jim and Esther live in Scots Gap in Northumberland, but for 6 weeks Jim was treated for septicemia in Cramlington Hospital 20 miles away. Since he was discharged, life's been a struggle.
Cramlington, you were more or less thrown out of the bed and said you were going home. With just boxes of pills and take one of these per day, or you had all these boxes to sort out, and you got in a muddle.
The toilet, for a start off, it was up the stairs. If he couldn't get out, he had to go out the back door to get the toilet outside. Well, Jim couldn't do that.
Now, in the past, when Jim had 2 hip replacements, he was able to recuperate at his local hospital here in Rothbury, just 10 miles away from where he lives. That now doesn't happen anymore. And for the last 5 months, this hospital and the rural communities it serves have been in a state of limbo. The 12 inpatient beds here closed after health service managers said they weren't being used enough. Protest marches followed, but last October, Northumberland County Council referred that decision to the Health Secretary. Since then, nothing, which frustrates Jane. Her 87-year-old father, Stuart, was discharged from Cramlington Hospital to his home in Rothbury recently after a fall and head injury.
He was discharged home to here, to this house, where he lives with my elderly mother, who is frail and has mobility issues. There was no care package in place on discharge. Here, on their own, at home with family a considerable distance away, they're both at risk.
Far too many people who are elderly and vulnerable, who should have been discharged to the safety of this hospital in order to have rehabilitation and have a care package arranged for them, have been simply discharged straight home.
The Northumberland Clinical Commissioning Group says the 12 inpatient beds at Rothbury will remain closed whilst they await the Health Secretary's decision. They say they work with Northumbria NHS Trust to ensure a smooth return home for patients when they are discharged from hospital. Meanwhile, a protest march is planned in Rothbury this weekend.